Louis. I would give him my
February 2024 meeting is now called to order. The first item will be the Pledge of Allegiance. Rand, will you do the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The next item on the agenda is agenda changes. Does the board have any recommended changes to tonight's agenda?
I have a change. I'd like to see us add another 30 minutes to public comment tonight.
Any other recommended changes?
I'd like to propose instead of doing that tonight, Bev, because I have a fear, because of our normal window and what we advertise in the agenda, if there's a potential that people will try to sign up, we get turned away. And I don't want to turn some folks away and then open up more comment tonight. So what I would propose is next meeting, we have, let me finish, folks. I am all about public comment. Yeah, I know they don't believe that, but I would suggest next meeting, we have an open-ended public comment. No limit. We let as many folks that want to talk come to the podium.
We waited long enough.
Excuse me, please.
I said, anyone who tried to sign up tonight and got turned away, I don't think it's fair if we allow them to not speak. So I would propose that instead of doing it tonight, we plan for it next meeting. And we let as many commenters who want to comment.
Can I ask, do you know who got turned, are those people available?
So we currently have 12 people signed up, or excuse me, 10 people signed up to vote. There were 12 originally. So I propose a agenda change to extend the public comment to 36 minutes.
Can we get all of those that signed up?
We will attempt to.
Okay, as long as that, I just don't want to turn anybody away to try tonight, because we didn't give them enough warning by having it on the agenda tonight. So that's my concern.
So the first thing we need to address, Bev's motion. So does the majority of the board agree to the recommended change of adding 30 minutes to public comment? I vote no.
So we're just on.
Okay. And then once we're done with that, then I will address the other motion that's on top.
Okay.
Motion to agenda change first.
I guess I just want to clarify, so there's only 2 people that would have signed up that didn't get a space.
Yes. That is correct. Yes, I verified that.
If we can accommodate at least those, and then address.
Let anyone speak.
Okay.
We're here.
So, am I correct in saying that the majority of the board does not want to move forward with additional 60, or the additional 30 minutes?
In this meeting, right?
Okay, correct. So, then I propose another agenda change, that we extend the public comment period to 36 minutes so that we can accommodate all 12 people that have signed up for public comment.
I asked
Yes.
about how many had signed up and would have signed up, but I was told there were already
Excuse me,
12.
please.
Yeah, so we can get the 2 folks that signed up that wouldn't have been able to. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So, all right, so I'm hearing that the majority of the board, agrees with that change, so we will extend to 36 minutes, so if you could please, see if you can get a hold of those people, let them know. Thank you.
Yeah, and then I said next meeting, let's plan for a longer period next time and put it in the agenda.
Okay.
Do we need to vote on that?
It's just a majority of the board, which I hear that.
It's not set, so we just have to set the agenda that way.
Yeah, so,
Well, yes, so we will set the agenda that way.
Yeah.
yes. Okay, all right, thank you. So the item number 4,
We have no Zoom audio.
okay, sorry.
We just need to make sure that we have Zoom audio.
Test, test, test. I'm hearing you through something. Test. Yeah, that's the one that's supposed to be. Can they hear me in the rooms? Yeah. Yeah, we're good now? Okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you. So the next item on the agenda is public comment, which will be for 36 minutes. The North Kitsap School District Board of Directors welcomes the public to this open public meeting. In accordance with board policy and state law, board meetings must be conducted in a civil, orderly, and business-like manner. This means that whether we are school directors, staff, students, members of the community, or guests, we all must follow the same standard of civility during the school board meetings. We value public comments. The purpose of public comment is so that the public has an opportunity to speak to potential items on the agenda prior to board action and consideration. Speakers can sign up by following the procedure outlined on every published agenda, as well as being stated on the school district website. This sign-up process is intended to ensure that both in-person and virtual attendees have the same opportunity to sign up for public comment. Individual speakers are given 3 minutes for their comments. The board sets aside a maximum of 30 minutes, in this case 36 minutes, for public comments per meeting. There is no mechanism for a speaker to donate some or all of their time to another speaker. The person who signed up for public comment should be the same person who addresses the board. No speaker may speak more than once, even if there is time remaining. Please note that the board cannot engage in discussion with the speaker during public comment to ensure compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act of the state of Washington. The board will not respond to statements, questions, or challenges made during the public comment period, and there will be no back and forth dialogue. Please know that the board's silence is neutral. It is neither a signal of agreement nor disagreement with the speaker. The board may ask district staff to contact the speaker at a later time to follow up on issues raised during the public comment period. Finally, please remember that your words have impact and that you, not the school district, are responsible for your words. We caution all speakers that it's possible that your statements could violate the rights of others under various laws, including laws protecting privacy and prohibiting defamation. If you are unsure of the legal effect of your remarks, you should seek independent legal advice prior to making public comments. Excuse me. When it's your turn to speak, please approach the podium. If you're in person, if you're commenting via Zoom, you'll be promoted to panelist on Zoom. You must then turn on your video and microphone to make public comment. Okay, and our first public speaker is on Zoom, and that is David, and excuse me on all the names, Pistorino. Okay, Corey, if you could please.
Does it have Dave B? I don't know if that's the same.
Dave P.
Dave B.
It's a P is in Pistorino.
Mr. Pistorino, could you please raise your hand so we can promote the right person to panelist?
You see them?
Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to the next speaker, but if you can hear us, if you want to make a comment, we'll try to get back to you there at the end. Okay, so the next speaker is also on Zoom. That is Cindy Webster Martinson.
I do have them. She's promoted to panelist.
Okay, Cindy, we have you as panel, so if you can unmute and turn on your video.
the board and the superintendent was unwarranted and simply a bargaining ploy. So I don't believe that that was fair at all, and now they're using that again in this current issue. The school bond, it is important that this bond passes, or the school district. What's that?
Sorry, go ahead.
It's important that this bond passes for the school district and the students. Public school funding is far from ample, and we must keep going forward with what we can, because there's so many areas that, the state education monies don't cover. They don't, even basic ed, they don't cover enough, so I hope that, level heads will prevail and that this vote will go through. And that I hope that the superintendent is given her fair due. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Cindy, we'll be returning to you as to the board member. Okay, the next speaker is Ted Jess, if you can approach the microphone.
How's my hair?
Looking good, Seth.
Join as a panelist?
Yes. And then just turn on camera and sound, and you should be good to go.
All right, and sound is working? Okay. So I'm Ted Jez, I'm the president of the North Kitsap Education Association, the teachers union, and I am up here with Amanda Nelson,
Co-president of
and I'm here to read a statement from North Kitsap Transportation because they can't be here, they're finishing their work right now as we hold the meeting. So I'll get right into it. Resolution for a vote of no confidence. Let it be known that the collective membership of the WEA-NEA North Kitsap School District Transportation Department Employees Association have collectively and by a majority of voting members passed a resolution voicing our vote of no confidence in the following positions of the North Kitsap School District Administration: the school board, the superintendent, the director of transportation department, the assistant director of the transportation department. We believe that the holders of the listed offices have and continue to violate district board policies and procedures, RCWs and WACs, and the collective bargaining agreement between the district and the association. That they have operated and made decisions that are not in the best interests of ensuring that there exists a work site free from threats, harassment, bullying, intimidation, and a hostile work environment. That some decisions have been made not in the best fiscally responsible manner. That they have not followed procedures as set forth in the above listed policies to ensure the support for drivers when a complaint or concern about student behavior threatens or otherwise jeopardizes the safe operation of the vehicle, the physical safety of the driver, the students or other passengers that we transport. That they have participated in the uncivil behavior and treatment to employees, that they have made veiled threats when addressing concerning issues that have been brought to their attention, that they have failed to provide the required documentation to keep the drivers in compliance with policies and law. The following list of reference documents may not be all inclusive of the totality of the violations. The collective bargaining agreement between the NKSD and the WEA Transportation Department Employees Association 2023 to 2025, multiple sections. RCWs and WACs, section 28A. North Kitsap School District Board Policies and Procedures, sections 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, and 6,000. And it is signed by the President, Secretary, Treasurer, Mechanics Rep, Special Needs Rep, and 2 unit reps. I will give you guys this copy. I want to state that the reason we're up here together is because it is a thing. We've had a vote of no confidence from the teachers union, from PSE, and from transportation, and the superintendent has not listened to the message. Thank you.
Excuse me. The next public speaker is Ms. Meredith Green, will be joining us on Zoom. Okay, Meredith, you're being promoted to a panelist. I see that your camera's on and unmuted. Thank you. Hold on 1 second, sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Please let me know when to start.
Okay, you should be good to start now. Thank you.
Maureen, please let me know when to start.
You're ready. Meredith,
Okay.
go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, school board, for being here and serving as elected school board members for our school district and what I hope is a low point of the school district. My children went to Suquamish Elementary, and can you hear me, by the way? Okay. My children went to Suquamish Elementary and graduated from Kingston High School. I've been in the community for 28 years and served 12 years as Kitsap County Treasurer, an elected position from which I recently graduated. For the first time since being an elected treasurer, I was able to contribute and endorse their bond, which I fully support. My comment relates to the need to educate our students and perhaps community about civics and civil discourse. It seems that our legal system is misunderstood and people don't understand the separate functions of sheriff, prosecutor, and judge. Much less is there any patience for it. The same is true for the function of the school board, which is prohibited from making decisions without a duly notified meeting. Lack of understanding these processes seems to have fueled an almost lynch mentality. I'm also concerned that the board is hearing from a very vocal segment while other input is being suppressed. Last night, I posted a comment on the Pulse Vote for All Facebook page, and this morning my account was suspended from posting or commenting. It concerns me that this group and others allow only negative input, which must put a terrific strain on our leaders, including you. Here it is. I've stayed away from the most social media for a while, and I'm shocked at the vitriol from this group. While I look at the group that states they foster civic engagement and compare it to the photos, you've seen all the photos, that's enough of a story for me. The plight of 4 Kitsap school districts comes to mind. South Kitsap has an interim superintendent, I think, still interim. Multiple bond and levy failures. Central has a new superintendent, and they failed their first bond. The former superintendent with a healthy lifestyle, other than being a superintendent, died at 67. The Bainbridge superintendent resigned due to medical reasons. North has a quality superintendent who may have been pushed to the brink. Please remember that the school board members are volunteers to be elected. School leaders, like teachers, are human too, and sometimes they make mistakes. I hope that people show up tomorrow in support of district leadership and the school board. We need to start thinking about what we want to build instead of what we want to tear down. So thank you for being here, school board, and I appreciate you, school administrators, teachers, and the other people who serve our students.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the next public speaker will be in person, and that is Jean Day.
Am I standing in the correct place?
Yes, you can begin. Thank you.
As he said, my name is Jean Day. I have lived in this community for 14 years now. I've been concerned about the schools because my grandson was going through the school system here. I did not see the list of requirements for the job of superintendent, but I very much doubt moral probity was on it. That just, you're supposed to either take it for granted or find proof that it isn't present. To me, the recent activity is shocking because children's education as a career presumes honesty and good character. And those are clearly not present at this time. You think about what you want for your children, your grandchildren. You want them to be free in their mind, but follow good example. And I don't see that the good example is present for them. The fuss over the school buses and what happens on them. It's hard for me to believe, but I am very old, that this kind of thing does happen and has to be faced. I don't envy any of you your jobs. You face a public that at present is really rather scary for people in public office. We seem as a community in this whole country to have given up on any kind of probity from our governmental leaders. I hate to see that start in the school too. Actions should have consequences on a par with the offense, and nobody should be prejudged. I get that too. I wouldn't want that for myself or anyone else. But on the other hand, if you go into a position in which you are a public face to the people you are there to serve, that face should be clean. And I'm sorry it isn't. Controversy in our schools is the last thing we should want. But then I come from the Leave It to Beaver days, when school was a good place to go, a safe place to go, a place where you learn, found out how the world works, and what your place in it.
All right, thank you, Sandra. The next speaker is in person is Agnes Dirk.
Hello. My name is Chadha Strick. I have 3 kids. I didn't know that. I have 3 kids. They attend Wolseley. They're all in the Oceans program. So, well, everybody knows the elephant in the room. So, I went and looked at the contract of our superintendent. And I wanted to see, if I were in your shoes, what would I do? And I was shocked that this contract doesn't have an exit clause. You guys guys cannot terminate it. At any moment in time, you almost always owe her more than 2 years of her contract. This is ridiculous. I mean, this is the only thing I can think. I mean, I think out of things, but I cannot say them. But I think you are violating your fiduciary duty. Each one of you, well, except the 2 new members, you have your signature in it. You have your signature in it. You have your signature in it. This is gross contract. Now, literally, at any point in time, she is owed at least 2 years or more than 3 years of her contract. More than $200,000, 15% annuity, car expenses, they have to pay. That's a golden parachute. You guys signed a golden parachute for a person who doesn't check the moral standard, like the previous person said. Now, I also went around and I looked at the contract Bainbridge Island signed. I looked at the contract the Seattle Public Schools signed. They have sensible items. They can terminate. For example, Bainbridge can terminate a superintendent for fraud, embezzlement, theft, an act of moral turpitude. There's a huge list there. You should, I think, go read and educate yourselves. More than that, not only that, they also put a cap on their severance. They only pay up to 18 months. Not like you. You are paying 24 or 26 months or more. You are spending our money, our public money, like you're in Las Vegas. I know I should be careful with my words, but you are violating your fiduciary duty. I don't know how you're going to sleep at night. Think about that. Go read these contracts. I don't know what you're going to do with this current superintendent. Whatever you sign, you sign. You better do a sensible contract next time around, because you are spending our money.
The next speaker is in person is Scott Hendon.
Good evening. You know, actions speak louder than words. Deb, I thank you for making that motion, but you made 5 o'clock evening meeting and have for a long time where many working people can't make it. You limit the ability to get on there. It sure seems like while you say you value public input, you hamper it. But I am hopeful. I'm hopeful that this board, if there's crossroads, will choose the right road. Which one will you choose? I believe where you've been is secretive, bullying, misleading, untrustful, and weak. But you can change that. You could become something different, and I'm hoping that you will. Chairman Desmond, I understand that you were a Navy commander. God, I have so much respect for that. I want to see that. I want to see a guy that's on the sub, and number 2 guy, I understand, has some authority, and he knows how to use it when appropriately. You could become a transparent board. You could be involved. You could listen. You could be representatives that you are. You could begin to rebuild the trust that is broken. I understand there's 300 people online watching this. It's amazing. But it's going to take some change. A sign will be how you handle the current controversy with the superintendent. She deserves the process to go through. See what the prosecutor does. I hope you've initiated your own investigation. When I was on the board for much smaller things, we had investigations of private, unconnected people that came in and said, here's the facts. I hope that you've read the deputy's report yourself so that you know what is on there. But still, I'm hopeful. I hope you won't delay. I hope you move forward in that. And if it is required by the results of the investigation that the superintendent be removed, I hope you don't give her that golden parachute. She doesn't need to walk out of here with $600,000. Which road will you choose? Individually, each one of you. Which road are you gonna choose? Are you gonna choose what's best for the kids? Are you gonna be open and honest and transparent? Or are we gonna continue on the path that we have? The community is watching, but I'm still hopeful. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Danielle Rue, who's in person. Thank you.
We have a motion to turn the sound up. Can you hear us?
Can't hear.
Anyone speak up? Thank you.
Okay, I wanted to address first before I make my comments, that you have a civility policy, and it cites RCW 28A 635010, which was held to be unconstitutional law in the mid-1980s, but apparently still remains in practice at North Kitsap School District. So based on that, it's a policy that addresses abusing or insulting teachers and liability or penalty for such. So I want to address this because you have a lot of policies you state which are very general, which happen to be, I think, unconstitutional and illegal. And you're using them to restrict public comment, which is free speech. I don't appreciate that. No one appreciates that. One thing I've enjoyed about this is there's people on totally different political aspects of the continuum than me, and we agree on this. We want to have free speech. We want to be able to get up here and ask for accountability from our leaders. Mike, you were just elected. I'm so sad it's come to this. Because over a year ago, I sat in a school board meeting and we asked you too. We asked for accountability. We asked for transparency. We asked for meetings. We didn't come with a lawsuit. Do you see any lawsuits here from our community, the Latinx community? We never once asked for a lawsuit. We said, when are you gonna talk to us? And you never did. You wouldn't do it in a culturally appropriate way. You wouldn't address any of our concerns. And our families no longer trust you. They no longer want to speak with you. And frankly, I come here today because I'm like, if finally something is caught on video. We cannot catch all the racism on video, but we caught this on video. And if this is what's hiding behind the bushes, literally and figuratively, what else is back there in your policies that's unconstitutional? What else is restricting the public from freedom of speech? Please, do better.
Thank you. The next speaker is Marthita May, who's in person.
Buenas noches. Buenas noches. Good evening. Thank you. I just here on behalf of my community. I'm here as a citizen. I'm here. We have family members advocating and asking the board for all that we have been going through with our families, reporting racism, and now Superintendent Evans' behavior. We're asking the board to demand to Superintendent Evans to resign. And also that this is not a good for our community, good behavior. Are you rewarding her to live with pay? It's our money. We're asking for her to live with no pay during the investigations and also to demand to resign. We don't want the Superintendent Evans here in school. That's no good example for our kids. So we asking please, the board, I know you have kids, you have maybe grown up already, but I know that you want the best for your kids, and I know and I have the feeling that you tonight, you're gonna be considering and listening to all a community, what the community is asking. And just, we don't want her in this district anymore, and please listen to the voices of the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker is Daniel Smith.
Good evening, my name is Nat Smith. I'm a middle school teacher here in North Kitsap. I've been teaching here since last century, 1998. I am the NKEA Vice President. As a representative for the North Kitsap Education Association members, I request that you vote to move all North Kitsap employees, board directors, students, parents, and community members toward a path of healing the hurt of the past 7 years and working together in transparency, honesty, and with focus on our children. Last June, NKEA members held an overwhelming 98% vote of no confidence that our superintendent could lead us on this path of healing. We also had a 99% vote of no confidence that the June 2023 board members' actions would be able to lead us in this path either. NKEA members now have 3 years of climate survey data that clearly identifies problems and concerns with Dr. Lauren Evans and her leadership. Our previous president in 2022 and in 2023 met with Dr. Evans to discuss the results and work toward positive change and growth. We haven't met with her this year, but the results have not shown growth, transparency, or change. NKEA has not been allowed to discuss any topics with the school board under her leadership. We were redirected to talk only with Dr. Evans. The current system of communication is flawed. Today as a community, we can begin the first step on a journey toward the North Kitsap School District that we can all take pride in. In light of the past and current events, we urge the board to place Dr. Evans on leave. This will allow you, as her evaluators, to learn more about her leadership. Please engage with and hear all comments that have been shared tonight and over recent years by the staff and the community that you serve. Let's heal together, ensure our students receive high quality education while preparing them for the future, and make North Kitsap a great place to live and learn again. Thank you.
Catherine, don't have a last name?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Catherine, can we have your last name?
It's Penninger. Sorry, I'm just pulling up my,
I'm sorry, can you just spell that so we
it's Penninger. Cat.
Okay, thank you. That's fine, take a second.
Just typing on my phone. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to address the school board and the wider community today. I stand before you as a dedicated special education teacher in another district and a concerned parent to express my deep concern and disappointment over the ongoing investigation into the alleged misconduct of the superintendent, as well as the exclusion of Suquamish Elementary from the proposed $242 million bond. As educators, we are entrusted with the responsibility of providing a high-quality education to our students while upholding the values of fairness, integrity, and inclusivity. These values are the foundation of our educational system, and they must not be compromised. The allegations against the superintendent are troubling, and questions about the integrity of our educational leadership and undermine the trust that we as a community place in our school district. We have a duty to promote democratic principles and instill in our students a respect for the democratic process. We teach them the importance of honest and ethical behavior, and we strive to be role models for them. However, the alleged involvement of Superintendent Evans in actions that infringe upon the values we teach our students presents a disheartening contradiction. It is essential that we address these allegations with the utmost seriousness and hold our educational leaders accountable for their actions. Furthermore, the exclusion of Suquamish Elementary from the significant project list of the proposed bond raises concerns about equity and fairness within our district. Every student, regardless of their geographical location, deserves access to the necessary resources and infrastructure improvements required for their academic success. By excluding Suquamish Elementary, we are depriving these students of the opportunities they need to thrive. It is our responsibility to ensure that all schools in our district receive fair and equitable treatment. Transparency, accountability, and ethical conduct are paramount in maintaining the trust of our community. We must ensure that our educational leadership upholds the highest standards in order to regain the trust that has been eroded. It is through open dialogue, transparency, and accountability that we can bridge the divide and work towards strengthening our educational system. As a community, we deserve answers regarding how you are handling this. I've worked in 3 other districts. Boards make statements all the time, immediately. All the time. We're shocked. I'm shocked that you have not made a statement. You don't have to comment on the investigation. You don't have to say your opinion, but you can say you are aware of the serious allegations and that you remain in the spirit of neutrality, to be neutral, and to entrust that you lead with unbiased and no influence of others to put someone on leave so that it can take its course. To bring in a third-party investigation into your superintendent.
I'm sorry, your time is up.
Okay.
Dana Stevie Jackson. I hope I pronounced that correct. No, I didn't. I apologize. Would you pronounce it for me?
Steve.
Steve, thank you.
I'm named Steve Jackson. I'm a parent in the district. I have 2 kids at Postal Elementary School, one of whom has an IEP, so I understand the needs of our students that need to be met, and I don't think that my students at Postal Elementary should get better services than the ones at Suquamish Elementary. I think that we should all get equal services, and when reading the bond measure, looking at all the schools on it except Suquamish Elementary, it's pretty stark. I think having been here a lot in the spring and watching the Latinx community come up here and talk to y'all about the discrimination that they have been facing at the school, at many of the schools in our district, and seeing Dr. Evans completely ignore and treat people with disrespect, who are coming here with really important concerns about their children and their families, and then to see the bond measure put forward without Suquamish on there, like blatantly leaving out the school that is on tribal land. And then additionally, that whatever came into her mind, thinking that taking signs down that say Suquamish was left off this bond, whatever in her mind that she decided that this was a plan of action that was a good choice. Hopefully, this is all over the news. I'm having to tell my 7-year-old and my 10-year-old why their superintendent was caught stealing, and what the bond measure is about and why it's unfair, and talk through all these things with my 1st and 4th grader. I think it's, I'm sure multiple of you have kids in the school district. It's not a great thing to have to talk to your kids about. So I hope that you guys will, take responsibility, take action. I think she should be put on administrative leave, and I think, clearly separately, there will be a investigation by, the county prosecutor, and that's not your job. But your job is to hold her accountable as, a leader there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That concludes public comment. The next item.
Get the first person.
What?
Beginning.
Yes, we're trying, working on it.
Yeah, I did not see him in the participant list.
It flashed, the hand raised flashed.
Good evening. My name is Akuye Karen Vargas. I'd like
I'm
to
sorry,
address
ma'am, you're out
this
of
board.
order. You didn't sign up for public comment. Thank you.
Let her talk. Let her talk. Let her talk. One more.
Follow the rules.
Let her talk. You took time?
Corey, do you have that person? I don't see mine.
I can't see him on.
You have stated,
Thank you.
I just would like to address the board.
I'm sorry, ma'am, you're not signed up for public comment. Thank you, I appreciate it.
One
We
person
encourage you
in
to
the
sign up
Zoom
for
didn't
next one.
talk.
So that ends public comment. Thank you.
This is not.
Yeah, one person in the Zoom didn't talk.
Make a motion to let her talk.
Okay, excuse me. So the next item on the
Mike,
agenda.
since we couldn't find the other person,
Excuse
we
me.
have 3 minutes. We said 36.
Thank you.
I moved that we let her talk.
Thank you.
I'd like to address this board. You have stated that
I'm
words
sorry, ma'am, hold on one
and
second.
acts.
Yeah,
Just
hold on,
one second.
we're making it legal.
Get her information first.
Yes, can we get your, ma'am, can we please get your information? Can I get your name?
Akuye.
And I'll second that.
Okay,
Just make sure you give her your information afterward.
I'm sorry,
name is Akuye.
I'm sorry, before public comment, I need you to go over, just sign in, there's required information we have to gather prior to public comment.
Can that happen afterwards? Make this move along a little quicker?
Okay, you.
Use some common sense, please.
Good evening, my name is Akuye Karen Vargas. I'd like to address this board. You have stated that words and acts have impact. Well, that includes this superintendent as well as this board. This school board and superintendent has continually overlooked ongoing injustices, racial bullying, threats of violence, continued mistrust of those that they serve, the children that they serve, and the families that they serve. Our parents and our youth, our community have called for you all in a just way to address these issues and to have a just response to these violations. Our children have been violated and their voices have been silenced and oppressed again and again. I understand levies, I understand bonds, but this is not what this is about. We are here for the concern for our children, their safety and well-being in the learning environment where they have to come 5 days a week, month after month, year after year, and we call for the dismissal or the termination or the resignation of this board as well as the superintendent. If we cannot act justly, we want to be open and honest and transparent and accountable. We want accountable leaders. And that's this school board and this superintendent. What is being modeled here before our children and our families and our communities is not healthy for any of our community members. And we want to make sure that we have an opportunity to do better here. Because I do believe it. I believe that we could have resolved many of these issues if this board and that superintendent, and I would hope that she would have been here to be accountable for some of the things that are being addressed here. You know, you can't throw the rock and hide the hand. And so when we say we want leaders that are accountable, you know, I have made mistakes in my life, but guess what? I have to be accountable for them. I can't just do or say or be. When we started this board meeting tonight, the first thing you all did was set a tone. You said to us that words and actions have impact. You started that. You said that to us. And we're saying it back to you. Forward. We do not want to continue to perpetuate all of these injustices upon our families or our children. And that's what this is all about.
The next item on the agenda is superintendent report. Ms. Davenport, would you please provide your comments to the board?
Yes, I just have one thing to say, and then I'm going to forego my comments for the night, but I appreciate the courage of the community being here tonight, and we heard you.
Who are you?
Board reports. Does any board member have a report to share in regard to their assigned liaison position?
Well, I have a significant amount of legislative stuff, but in interest of the evening, I'm going to forego. I will type up a report, send it to Rachel, and have her disseminate.
Have no report for today.
No. Okay, thank you. Excuse me, the next item on the agenda is action 7.1 consent agenda, which is items 7.1.1 through 7.1.5. Motions needed to approve the consent agenda. Do I have a motion?
Move to accept the consent agenda, items 1.1 through 1.1.5.
Okay, thank you, Rick. Do we need a second for the motion? Do we have a second?
Give us 1 sec, we're out of it.
We have audio issues again with the Zoom.
Test.
Says
Is that
fixed.
working?
It says
Yes?
fixed? Says fixed.
Okay.
It was the shutting of that booted it.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, thank you, Stacy. The motion has been made and seconded. All in favor of the motion?
Yes.
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 Aye. And yes. The motion passes with a vote of 5, 4, and 0 against. Okay, the next action item is 7.2. Superintendent Dr. Lauren Evans paid administrative leave. Motion is needed to discuss Superintendent Dr. Lauren Evans paid administrative leave. Do I have a motion?
I move that we, for 7.2, to place Dr. Evans on paid administrative leave.
Okay.
I second.
1 second. We need a second.
I second.
Okay. Thank you. So if Superintendent Dr. Lauren Evans paid administrative leave, the motion has been made and seconded. Do we have any new comments for discussion?
You're rewarding her. How are we rewarding that bitch by
Excuse me.
behavior?
Only comment I'll just add is, as you all know, Dr. Evans is already on leave, therefore I feel that the action item is unnecessary. Thank you.
And I'm just gonna say, we are taking the same action that we would take on any other staff member, and we're place her on leave.
Okay, if there's no more discussion, I put the question to vote. All in favor of the motion?
Yes.
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 And I abstain. The motion passes. 4 and 0 against.
Wow. Wow. Rewarding by behavior.
Wow.
Start rewarding about behavior.
Excuse me, management reports. The management reports will be turned over to Ms. Davenport and staff to answer any questions the board has regarding the materials provided.
We provided these materials in advance. Is there any questions of the materials provided?
I just have one comment on 8.4. I'm just really glad some of the courses that are sitting on 8.4, the health courses, they're very they're needed, and I'm really glad that we're able to, finally get the Sakala language available. Hopefully enough kids sign up, we can run the classes. Thank you to the tribe for helping us make that happen. I know they've wanted it for a long time.
Yeah, and I have one comment about those. I think it's a great way to expand the opportunities and choices for the high school kids. But they need to know that if they want these classes, they need to sign up for them.
Yeah, we can only run them if they keep signing up.
Excuse me, if you could please keep quiet, thank you.
Yeah, we can only run them if kids sign up, so please make sure, encourage your kids, encourage your students, sign up for the electives.
I guess I'll just add that I know as somebody that works in healthcare administration, I'm very excited to see the pathway to healthcare careers for our kiddos. We are needing desperately to hire in this county for healthcare, so this is much needed for our kids to get that entry level, experience into these classes. So, thank you.
Okay. So, done with match reports, thank you. So the next item is executive session. The board will hold an executive session to consult with legal counsel per RCW 42.30.110I, and is expected to last approximately 45 minutes.
I have one ask for a future agenda item as well before we go. I know next week's probably going to be busy, particularly since we just talked about extending public comment. But between next week and the first week meeting in March, I would like a study session on our board operating procedures for the meetings. We've been asking for it, I've asked for it for a while. Oh, it just needs to be added to the agenda.
Would that include the length of time people have to sign up?
Yeah, we would discuss the entire procedure of how to run the meeting and that policy. So I'd like to have a study session on that as soon as possible.
Okay, all right, thank you. The board is now in executive session.
Well, no surprises, right?
I'll be here next time.